So it looked good and it sounded good. But if you pull the indictment up, which we have it, is 75 pages of what they're actually indicting him on. Okay.
Right. I mean,
Nevada's gonna
take that. Okay, so there's a RICO count.
50 Cent recently unveiled a series of harsh posts on social media, accusing Wack 100 of collaborating with federal authorities and disclosing private recordings that could jeopardize prominent figures in the industry. As said by 50, the feds may already have the recordings of the streets talking. For weeks, there have been rumors that Wack 100 has been surreptitiously recording talks with well-known musicians, business leaders, and even those with connections to the streets.
After you got the message, you hit up Big U's wife. You said, "Sis, 911. 1 sec, let me get solo." And you gave him a heads up.
What I tell him?
You said, "1 sec, let me get solo. He needs to leave. Bad." In caps, all caps. He needs to leave. Yeah, full bad.
What the 600 said in it is 460 telling on him.
all right, so Wack man,
Oh, so that's what the 4 bad mean.
let me ask you this, Wack.
They're gonna talking on him. Now I can send you a clip. Play the clip. You're gonna hear the people saying, "Don't say nothing. Don't tell nobody nothing. Don't say nothing." So which one you want? If he wouldn't have said nothing and y'all found out that he knew, you would say what? Why you didn't say nothing?
No.
There are now rumors that some of those videos have ended up in the hands of the federal government. In a now deleted post, 50 stated, "You out here filming everybody and passing cassettes," which he describes as outright snitching.
I told you I'm doing my motion. I talked to you, I told you I want you involved in it. But I'm not fucking with that trucker dude. That dude lies every aspect.
Business that is Fed work is not it. Subsequently, he tagged prominent platforms, cautioning them to avoid Wack before they were entangled in the fallout. An internet Wack has been triggered by this shocking accusation. Although 100 has denied any involvement, experts speculate that the chats he recorded may already be connected to at least one government investigation. Known for regulating narratives and safeguarding his social circle, the 50s reaction is not just personal, but also strategic. Going public in the 50s sends a strong message.
So it looked good and it sounded good. But if you pull the indictment up, which we have it, is 75 pages of what they're actually indicting him on. Okay.
Right. I mean,
Nevada's gonna
take that. Okay, so there's a RICO count.
Anybody who plays both sides will be found out. The key question today is if the tapes are real, and if so, who is on them, with fans and industry insiders keeping a careful eye on them. If 50's allegations are accurate, Wack 100 might be at the heart of a scandal that completely upends the hip-hop industry. Since 50 Cent publicly criticized Wack 100 for supposedly snitching on Big U, the scenario around him has become increasingly suspect.
I will say, some of what you may have done may have helped with the timing, right? I think
What's that?
I think you tip it off to be you. I think that definitely helped.
There were
Allegations that allegedly contributed to the indictment. According to current allegations, Wack 100 may have even been carrying a wire to assist federal officials in locating prominent members of the rap scene. To be clear, the purpose of this is not to verify any claims. This is only a summary of what is currently going around in the streets. One significant phone call starts it all. He called Big U's wife, not Big U, and gave her a very precise heads up, as Wack 100 himself admits. She said that Wack alerted her to the impending federal indictment. The fact that he correctly anticipated when the Fed would act only served to heighten suspicions. The red flags began to fly at that point. How could a non-law enforcement individual...
Plus, you're saying certain... I know you spoke to, or you had some information from the fam. Like, this is like, you should only know this if you're doing the investigation. But I get it. They told the people.
Understand this type of private information regarding a government inquiry that is under seal. Access like that has only made conjecture more intense. It is the accuracy of the call, not just its content. People are asking difficult questions just because of that. The most important question is, unless they are somehow obtaining inside knowledge, what kind of person would give that degree of warning? Things took a drastic turn at that point. Reports state that 50 Cent began to piece things together at this very moment. The suspicion that Wack 100 was wired up. All of a sudden, it began to seem less like crazy internet chit-chat and more like a legitimate option worth looking into. However, a long time before 50 Cent was involved.
60.
Hey, what's that about? But I thought that though the study about just this on me and women. What's the other boss got to do with something?
They got. I'm talking about that paperwork. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You saying I'm on paperwork?
Yeah. Bro, am I lying? Put that on poverty.
You whacked on paperwork? My head on 6 so whack for paperwork.
Work.
Okay, okay.
He put it on 6, go down episode 60. Now that is not on that case.
Produce it.
Put that on poverty that you got on that case.
You know I'm the one got told on, right? On power, I ain't on none of them cases here.
Suge Knight had previously warned the people. According to reports, Suge warned Birdman explicitly that Wack 100 was unreliable. In retrospect, Suge's assertion that Wack was the one employed by the Fed seems much more grave. Wack and Suge have years of combined industry experience.
The one that then got on me the most, right, is Birdman. Yeah, I'm a dude to keep it 100. Ain't nobody bigger than the politics. That's my brother, and we get on each other. But Birdman, out of everybody, Birdman that got on my ass, like, on me. He told me how dissatisfied he is. He said, I love you, you my brother. I ain't never going there. You know that. We done been in the trenches together. But God damn it.
Shugi's warnings are therefore taken more seriously, and the Big U issue blew out immediately after. An extensive 43-count indictment was filed, which included allegations of extortion, wire fraud, RICO, and numerous other grave federal felonies. To make matters worse, the federal government linked Big U to a different 2021 probe about the untimely death of a young artist who went by the initials RW.
When I came in, I swear it was 50 and like 2 people. He was like 3 or 4 deep. Radio guys, like regular V. So when I went over there, I said, yo, check this out. He's like, Wack, what's up? I said, man, game in the alley 50 deep. It don't make sense for you to restrict him from coming in. And then you got to come out. And you got 50 out to wait on you.
It is impossible to ignore the picture that is created when these components are connected. However, the entire 75-page indictment notably lacked that important fact, which connected Big U to the 2021 musician case.
Right by the Beverly Center. We thought we did. Somebody called us, told he was up there. I got up here. He came in.
How deep were you?
About 15.
15 people.
Yeah, we wasn't that deep.
According to reports, that item is being handled by Nevada officials as a distinct legal concern. However, the way the feds collected their evidence was what truly sparked concerns. Public records reveal that they were stealing real audio snippets from podcast interviews and clubhouse tirades, many of which were uploaded or owned by Wack 100 himself. DJ Academics learned of the incident at that point. The feds were not just listening, he realized. Using the words of Wack, they were constructing a case. Academics confronted it head on in an honest interview, stating that he thought Wack had spied on Big U prior to the indictment. Wack's response: he chuckled, "Do not deny, no resistance, just giggling," and many people found that kind of response strange. Under the pressure of such charges, it was not the response anyone had anticipated, and you have to go back in time to see how deep this runs. Let us revisit 2006. Wack 100 and his brother were stopped in Texas at the time. According to reports, the car contained loaded guns and ammunition, considering that both had prior felony convictions.
We got up there, we came in, and shit. You had Navy SEALs with it. 2 in all directions. Probably about 6 up. Walkies in their ear, vested. Strapped to they thigh, bullies on them, semis on them, magazine cartridges. I said, yeah. He ain't slipping.
Today's not the day.
Nah, 50 move different.
Somehow, this was not a simple federal case, even though it should have been. In 2011, 5 years later, the entire case was dismissed, not because of shaky evidence or flawed processes, but rather because of mysterious events that continue to arouse speculation. In that Texas case, the attempt to suppress evidence was formally rejected. Nevertheless, under a legal doctrine known as "in the interest of justice," the accusations were withdrawn. That statement usually indicates cooperation with authorities. According to individuals individuals who are familiar with trial procedures, and that disclosure raised questions about Wack 100's legal status right away. The story was further fueled by what transpired next. Wack's visibility skyrocketed overnight. He gained influence in the industry, started managing well-known artists, and somehow always had access to insider knowledge.
What's up, man? I just called my attorney. Try to get him down there so Adam don't be doing no telling, bro.
Man, they saying Adam locked up. All on the blogs. What's going on?
They came to got him this morning, bro. They double back. They came by there. We try and have him out because he's supposed to go live today, right?
His abrupt ascent sparked curiosity, particularly since those close to him were charged with major crimes while he was unaffected. Then there was another twist. There were rumors that a government wiretap had caught Wack. The exchange in question concerned a man named Stutterbox who was purportedly involved in a larger inquiry involving the Main Street Mafia Crips. Sources with access to the case files claim that Wack was not merely chatting away throughout the call. Rather, he was allegedly giving information that enabled investigators to piece together important details of an ongoing investigation. This was not a coincidence to many outside observers. The pattern appeared intentional, and it was a strategy. Furthermore, there have been rumors regarding Wack 100's reliability for a while.
A second, he don't have to, but they own him about something, bro. I don't know what they own him about, but they own him about something. And I don't know if they was trying to get something out of him, but I'm pretty sure come 4 o'clock, he gonna be here. My attorneys, they said about me that they're gonna definitely have him at 30 at the latest. So he'll be here at 4 o'clock. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a lot to say.
Questions existed long before the current controversies. His prior partnership with Birdman is one significant warning flag. At one point, the streets watched them intently as they sprinted Cash Money West together. However, after Wack assumed managerial responsibilities for Tekashi 6ix9ine, that collaboration started to wane. It was dangerous, perhaps career-ending, for anyone with any knowledge of street politics to support someone who was frequently classified as a federal informant. Wack acknowledged in a candid interview that Birdman himself had second thoughts about working with 6ix9ine. Although Birdman never made it public, his behaviors were quite telling. He made it obvious that things were not the same, put distance between them, and altered his tone. This is the point at which everything relates to 50 Cent. The game is currently run by Wack, a name that instantly conjures up one of the most notorious feuds in hip-hop. Tension and treachery abound in the well-documented history between 50 Cent and the game. However, Wack rekindled the tension rather than allowing it to subside. He took direct aim at 50 in interviews and podcasts. He cast doubt on 50's street credentials, suggesting that he was now protected by the industry and no longer a part of that environment. According to Wack, 50 must check in every time he lands in Los Angeles, implying that his presence on the West Coast is unsafe and unwelcome without the required clearance. Wack 100 did not simply make outrageous statements without providing any background. He brought up a particular instance at the SLS Hotel involving 50 Cent. He and his group pulled up with the intention of directly confronting 50, according to Wack.
Actually, to be totally real,
What do you mean?
he called me. I told him exactly what the Fed said. I told him, like, don't say anything. And then his way of not saying anything is to call into the news and basically put forth a completely misleading narrative because, he just loves to cause chaos and everything. And from my perspective, okay, let's go viral. Sure. Post whatever. I don't care.
It did help though. Y'all seen my face in here when that nigga Wack was on the phone.
I mean, bro, if I was arrested, I feel like good, but I think I have.
No way. An agent of beautiful chaos.
However, what they saw upon arrival was anything from typical. A site that looked like a high-level security deployment was described by Wack. According to him, 50 appeared to be rolling with Navy SEALs, replete with heavy weapons and all the necessary tactical gear. As soon as the description appeared on social media, people started making jokes about it. Many wondered why, if Wack was attempting to establish his superiority, he would even acknowledge that he was outgunned. The BMF scandal followed. Wack started critiquing 50 Cent's depiction of the Black Mafia family in his TV shows, saying that 50 was taking advantage of the heritage to get money. It was not about respecting the true story, Wack said. It was about making money out of a story. However, 50's response, or lack thereof, was what truly grabbed notice. The rapper, who is well known for his scathing Instagram rants and constant trolling, remained silent. Just silence. No subtitles, no memes, no press reactions. That quiet answer was unusual for someone who typically responds within hours.
That was the only contact I've had was the situation that I described last night, where basically the feds came.
Yeah.
All they wanted to do was drop off the subpoena for
Okay.
the cease and desist.
So where did Wack get the "you were locked up" thing at?
I don't know. He's always just trolling, and then they just ran with it. And they made a clip out of it. And it is what it is. It's not. There was. I didn't even have communication with anybody in order to turn over anything. And all I want is like one email. So to me, it's like pretty simple, cut and dry thing. You know, it's like my lawyer did tell me like you probably should not antagonize them, which I had no plans on. But
I mean,
that's my one note is do not antagonize the feds.
Just that they had a serious plot against him. Adam22 reacted at that point and turned everything off. He categorically disputed being arrested, made it clear he was not being investigated, and called Wack's account of what happened inflated. Adam even added a jibe, saying that Wack's imagination was too active. There are no charges, no trouble, and no federal participation, he stressed, at least for the time being. Adam22's confirmation that the federal agents did indeed visit his property and get in touch with his legal team was even more shocking. He claimed that a particular stop and desist letter they had gotten from Big U almost a year prior was the focus of their attention. In that letter, Loose Cannon allegedly implied that Big U knew what was going to happen to Nipsey Hussle and ordered that the podcast episode be taken down. Adams claimed that the initial indictment and criminal files make no mention of this letter at all drew everyone's attention. That omission caused concerns for him. It caused him to wonder what precisely the federal government is looking into in relation to Big U and why they are abruptly bringing up content from months ago. And everyone's attention immediately returned to Wack 100. He was the one who first introduced Adam's name into the public mess after all. Ironically, though Wack stirred things up, the indictment did not include his name. Online speculation erupted at that point. Social media exploded, giving him a brand new moniker, Rat 100. The remarks were unrelenting. According to one post, Wack is an excellent informant and a multi-talented man, with snitching being one among his numerous skills. I have never seen a so-called G know so much about federal action. Leave a comment below with your opinions. We are going over each and every one of them. To ensure that you never miss the next installment, hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell if you are ready for honest analysis, unvarnished facts, and no filler. We will see you at the following one.